Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the January 16th, 2024 BOCC meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first thing on our agenda are our minutes. Gentlemen, any additions or corrections?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I move to approve the proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners for Montezuma County for January 9th, 2024 as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County, January 9th, 2024. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, planning. Come on down. We have a public hearing scheduled. Do you have your applicants here, Don?
Yes, we do.
Okay, would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsay.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney McLaren.
Here.
And Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination regarding a proposed subdivision amendment and AR 10-34 rezoning application to lot number 12 of the Summit Lake West Unit subdivision submitted by Ruth Mathis and Betty Toso on property located at 14438 Road 34.7, Mancos, Colorado, consisting of 39.74 acres, more or less, located south of Highway 184, west of Road 35.6, situated in Section 32, Township 37 North, Range 14 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, January 16th, 2024 at 9 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office. Online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com, public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2001 with questions. Dated this 19th day of December, 2023. Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don, give us an overview on this.
All right. Yes, Ruth Mathis is here. She is one of the current property owners. Her and her sister are looking to subdivide their property basically in half land-wise because the east parcel goes out into Pewitt Reservoir. But there's a house, two houses existing that they each own, and they are just looking to split the property. And Miss Mathis is looking to sell. Travis, I think that plat is on the separate. There you go. So each house with utilities are on what would be each parcel, lot 1 and lot 2. With the shown easements that run down there for the irrigation ditches and lines and road P2 and everything else that's involved there, but the building, they will meet the setbacks from the new proposed property line.
Okay, would you like to add anything, ma'am?
Do you need to add anything?
I don't believe so. I think that Betty and I are in agreement with the property, and the only thing that I don't know if are the easements involved in this with the utility company and the water company.
Yes, those are included. There's an access utility easement on the north end of lot 2 to access lot 1.
Okay, and Betty did not wish to have a county easement put through. She was okay with the utilities, but not the county easement.
And I don't see that
It-
kind of an easement. The only
No,
thing I see
no.
is an overhead power line on the lower side and another overhead power line.
Right,
Which are
we-
all existing, and then
We had brought up the possibility of an access utility easement from
34.
the end of 34.7 down to road P.2 as another access without the P.2 issues to get to Pewitt, but she was not inclined.
So this all accesses, there's nothing off of P.2, correct?
Correct.
Because that's a totally different creature. And how big is the easement on top?
It's a
Is it
60 foot wide.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
It's hard to see that little,
Yeah, it's kind of shuffled in there with the overhead power line easement, but it's, the note's up above it
Yeah,
for the
I see
60-foot access utility.
okay.
And then on the west property line, there is a 10-foot wide utility-only easement on each side of that property line, which exists from the original Summit Lake West Unit 2 subdivision. And that's not changing.
Okay. Questions, commissioners, before I open this up for
I
public?
don't have anything.
How long, when was that subdivision originally done, Don?
I believe it was the late 70s, early 80s. This is Unit 2 that piggybacked onto Unit 1. Unit 2 does not have recorded covenants. Unit 1 did have recorded covenants. They kind of look like they intended those to carry over to Unit 2, but there are no recorded covenants on Unit 2.
Yes. Okay.
Good enough?
Well, it's just sometimes with those things, it concerns you that you need to get all those other lot owners to agree to this, splitting this up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I was concerned about, but was where it was created before that didn't have the covenants way.
Yep.
Should be okay.
Yeah,
Um,
if there, and that's been confirmed, right, Don? There's no covenants.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, we've looked into it
okay.
for a couple of years, and there's no recorded covenants.
Good?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. Then I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time.
Good morning. I'm Bruce White. I have the parcel west of the one in question, and I am in favor of them being able to get their property split, so, you know, both of them are elderly citizens, and there's gonna have to be something done one of these days as far as, you know, divesting of the property. Now, Ms. Matthias was mentioning something about someone wanting to put a road easement from 34.7 down to P2 for additional access to P2. Is there anything to that?
No.
No? Okay, because I would definitely be not in favor of that. All right, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, anybody else? We're in public comment for this application. Okay, with that, I'll close the public comment session for this application and bring it back to the commissioner. Commissioner, do you have any?
I have nothing further, Gerald.
I don't have any problem with it. It's their
So,
property, I think.
just again, to make it very clear that there is no access going across their property for a county access. The way it's depicted here, it stops at the cul-de-sac and it just goes into their private property and their easement on their private property. Okay, all right.
All righty. I would so move that we accept the proposed subdivision amendment and AR 10 through 34 rezoning application to Lot 12 of the Summit Lake West Unit 2 subdivision submitted by Ruth Mathis and Betty Toso on property located at 14438 Road 34.7 Mancos.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept a proposed subdivision amendment and AR 10 through 34 rezoning application to lot number 12 of the Summit Lake West Unit 2 subdivision submitted by Ruth Mathis and Betty So on property located at 14438 Road 34.7 Mancos, Colorado. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there you go, ma'am. You are approved. And with that, I will close this public hearing.
Okay, so everything's okay, huh?
Everything's good. Just keep the plat finalized and Brian will be getting that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
You can go. All right, thank you.
And who you are, you, Brian?
I'm done. Yeah, you'll have to. Oh, I understand. Not a problem. You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Okay, we are at the 9:10 mark, so we do have another public hearing. Do we have the applicants here for this one? No?
I don't see her currently.
Somebody's coming.
Somebody's walking in right
There
now.
you go.
Okay. You can come on down, ma'am. Okay. Would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson. Here. Attorney McLaren.
Here.
Kim Purcell, Montezuma County Clerk and Recorder. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination regarding a proposed subdivision amendment application to the Van Horn subdivision and boundary line adjustment submitted by Fiona King on property located at 17380 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 4.41 acres more or less, and Greaves, Larsen Family Trust on property located at 17374 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 25 acres more or less, both located south of Road G and west of Road 21, situated in Section 33, Township 36 North, Range 17 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, January 16th, 2024 at 9:10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com, public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 19th day of December, 2023, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don.
So this is basically a boundary line adjustment, but being that it's in a subdivision, it's going through the amendment process to the current driveway and carport and shed are encroaching onto the other property owner to the south. So they're doing an adjustment in that property line to get compliant with the setbacks and have everything on Miss King's property.
Okay, so basically just cleaning it up and making sure that it complies.
Correct.
All right. Question, gentlemen?
No.
No, I don't have any.
Okay.
Just looks like they're straight.
Would you like to add anything, ma'am?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, very good. Well, then, I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. All right, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment of this application. I'll bring it back to the board, gentlemen.
No, this is pretty simple. It's a boundary line adjustment.
Well, it cleans it up.
Yeah.
It keeps everything to the setbacks. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's actually good to see when we find errors like this that it can get resolved with your property owner, however you guys made an agreement there, but I appreciate it. Thank you. So,
No. Thanks for going through the process and straightening it out.
Yeah.
Sure, thanks, you're welcome.
Don't have any problem.
okay.
I move to approve the Van Horn subdivision and boundary line adjustment submitted by Fiona King on property located at 17380 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 4.41 acres, more or less, and the Greaves Larsen Family Trust on property located at 17374 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 25 acres, more or less, situated west of County Road 21 and south of Road G.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed subdivision amendment application to the Van Horn subdivision and boundary line adjustment submitted by Fiona King on property located at 17380 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 4.41 acres more or less, and the Greaves/Larsen Family Trust on property located at 17374 Road G, Cortez, Colorado. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, you are approved, ma'am. Thank you very much again, and I will close this public hearing. Okay, do you want to sign a Mylar? We've got
Sure,
a couple minutes.
we can do that.
Good, how are you? It's coming.
Okay, we have one more public hearing. Do you have, I'm assuming the applicant in the back?
Yes, she is here. Morning.
And mine just turned 9:20. So with that, would you call the roll, please, Kim?
Commissioner Candelaria.
Here.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver.
Here.
Administrator Anderson.
Here.
Attorney McLaren.
Here.
Kim Purcell, County Clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination regarding a proposed second amendment to lot number 1 of the Litchlider two-lot moderate subdivision submitted by Kathleen Turner on property located at 25695 Road M, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 7.34 acres more or less, located west of Road 26, north of Road M, situated in Section 11, Township 36 North, Range 16 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, at 9:20 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online services at https://co-montezuma-co.smartgovcommunity.com, public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 19th day of December, 2023, Kim Purcell Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, Don, give us an overview on this.
Ms. Turner is the owner of the property in Litchlider. It is lot 1, or 2A, I believe. 1A. Anyway, she is looking to split off 3 acres, more or less, from her 7.4 acres or whatever she does. And she's interested in keeping her property with all utilities in the northeast corner and selling off the southwest corner that would also have access to Road M, as well as the access to the subdivision access utility road that runs between lots 1 and 2 and also continues to the ag properties to the north. There's the proposed split, but there would be an area there at the southeast corner that would connect her property still to Road M. So that triangle wouldn't extend clear to the east property line. The shaded area would be split off. She would live in the northeast corner of the existing lot.
So there's an additional 10-foot easement along with the 60-foot easement, correct? Would that just extend, or does that just stop there for a purpose?
That stays there. Those are all existing easements and conditions when that was created.
So it doesn't need to extend to catch that upper end of that property?
Right.
Okay.
And it's a 60-foot easement that goes north and then west and also curves around to the north. The original plan was a 7 or 8 lot major subdivision, and somehow the 2 weird shaped parcels got created out of that instead of the major subdivision, but those 60-foot easements are all in place.
Okay. Questions, gentlemen?
No.
So there wasn't, there's not any covenants with this one created with the first
Just-
2 lots that were,
Just the minimum. There's no additional that are attached.
Okay. Would you like to add anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Good.
Planning and zoning. They
They,
rec-
they recommended it
Okay.
for approval.
Okay, with that, then I will open this application up for public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may address the board at this time. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this application, and I will bring it back to the board. Gentlemen.
I don't have any problems with it.
Okay.
I would so move we approve the proposed second amendment to Lot 1 of the Litzleiter two-lot moderate subdivision submitted by Kathleen Turner on property located at 25695 Road M, Cortez, Colorado.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed second amendment to Lot 1 of the Litzleiter two-lot moderate subdivision submitted by Kathleen Turner on property located at 25695 Road M, Cortez, Colorado. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, there you go, ma'am. You are approved. Thank you
Thank you very much.
Yep. And I will close this public hearing. All right, we took care of the signing, so anything else that we need to discuss, Don?
Not currently, not unless you have something for us.
Did we get any applications?
We have received one so far.
Do we have
Deadline's Thursday at noon,
this
the
week?
18th.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, do you have anything else for planning?
No.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
very
Thank you,
good. Thank you,
guys.
guys. Appreciate it. Okay, now we're back into our general purpose of our meeting, and we have our public comment session. The Board of County Commissioners welcomes you to this meeting. Person speaking during public comment will be limited to 3 minutes, or depending on the number of people wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all members of the public the opportunity to address the board. When addressing the board, please state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments. Comments to individual supervisors or staff are not permitted, and participants may not yield their time to others. With that, the public comment session of the meeting is open. Okay, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session, and we will go straight into unfinished business. First of all, we're going to look at the CDAP. We had discussed that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Heather was going to get some clarification for us on that. So the CDAP, an acronym again, is the Community Development Action Plan that we look at every couple of years for Montezuma County, and we either add or delete items and or change the ranking of high, medium, or low. We did have a couple that were in question. Number 27, which was new, the parking area on County Road 21. It was clarified that that parking area is south, not north. Correct. So it is south on Road 21, Commissioner. I think that was your question. And then we were going to strike number 28, which was new, Bradfield Campground, because that is not in our county. It's in Dolores County. And other than that, the only other one that was really highlighted was number 13, which was new, which was Drought Management and Mitigation Plan. And if my notes served us correctly, we did decide to stay on that.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
We elevated, we ranked number 29, the road G to the state line is high.
Yep.
And there was another one. Find it.
I believe it was 26, Commissioner.
Oops, that's 36. One more. 26. Yeah, well, that's already been,
The ORIC, we're already looking at that. We already actually have a grant for that too.
Yeah.
So I thought that was gonna stay the same.
that was the only one.
The only other one we talked about was 24, was the low elevation public shooting ranges, and we left that where it sits as a low ranking.
Yeah.
But we did leave it on the list for the action plan. So, other than that, I don't think there were anything else that were any other changes made. So, what's your pleasure?
To Gerald. Tim, we need a resolution
Can you
number.
give us a number, Kim?
Number 2?
It's a new year.
I move to approve resolution number 3, 2024, a resolution approving a comprehensive economic development strategy for Region 9.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept resolution number 3, 2024, a resolution approving a comprehensive economic development strategy for Region 9. Is there any further discussion?
You know, the only thing, the goals, the CDAP goals just have to be attached onto the back of that. So the resolution goes with the goals. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So,
All right.
And I'll print up
A clean copy?
clean copy.
Not the ones that we have all of our chicken scratching on. Okay. With that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Come on over, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey. You ready for us?
Yeah.
We're ready.
Best you can be. So, coming before commissioners, we have so what I've been doing for at least, 3 years, trying to put together some type of a community emergency response team. It's basically volunteers that are very well trained. The program across the United States, basically it educates people about disasters, preparedness for hazards, might impact their areas. We train them in basic disaster response skills so that they're safe, fire safety, light search, rescue, team organization, disaster, medical operations, it just goes on. So they're called CERT volunteers. They come from the neighborhoods. They come from workplaces, other community organizations. They come in because they want to learn how to better prepare for hazards, things that might threaten their homes, their community. And you guys are pretty familiar with that. They want to protect their families, themselves, and the community. So we've been looking at that. We've had an expo trying to get volunteers. The word's getting out. We're marketing that fairly well. The planning costs, of course, about $1,000. Equipment, go kits, identification, T-shirts, safety vests, hard hats, miscellaneous go items in their go kits. It's about 10 grand. This is based upon 30 students plus. Training supplies, student manuals, they have in their instructor fees. I don't foresee that just yet. Any training fees. put in for I put in for $13,000 for the All Hazards Homeland Security Grant. We received $14,000, and that's goes through a different fiscal agent. It's all no match. And with that, they have approved $9,855. We got $4,000 on hold for some more information. And then the Lore Foundation, Nikki came up and said, you need some equipment. I said, yeah, it'd be great. So with the Lore Foundation came forward, and I submitted my proposal to her for $9,830 and gave her a summary of the equipment that I wanted, and she said it would be great. So the Lore Foundation, as you know, there's no match. There's no match at all. She just gives us the funding so I can get some equipment. We did that for CIP and got some 800 megahertz radios for the team. So it's been really good at that sort of thing. And so we're following the procedure here, making sure that you're aware of any funding that we get. And of course, this doesn't go through our finance. It might, yeah, it will, because she'll write us a check and then, and then I
Everything
spend
has
the
to go
money.
through finance.
So, so that's why we're here.
Okay.
There you have it.
Yeah, and just to summarize it, the grant is $9,830 from the Lore Foundation for equipment and go bags for the CERT team. There's no cash match required. There's no staffing or any other potential liability for the county.
So
Yeah,
I
this-
read your, when you try to have your training and by the end of basically late summer, you're trying to have these people certified. Is that going to be all at one time, all 30 of them? Because, no?
No.
So like maybe
I
10 or
don't
something?
anticipate getting 30 people. If we did, that'd be great. The program I'm looking at, the funding that we got from the All Hazards, the 14,000 if we get the whole thing, is good for 3 years. So that'll help me string through some items. The Lore Foundation will give us the equipment that I need and all the,
So you'll have these 30 bags and the vests and the shirts and
Yep.
everything that you itemized on there will be in the bags, and as you get people certified, that's when they'll get their bag. Is kind of what it mentioned in the proposal, right?
yes.
Once they're certified, fully certified, then they'll have their equipment bag. So
Right.
does that become their personal bag, or does that get, if they leave, they're no longer a volunteer?
If they leave and no
How
longer
does that-
volunteer, we ask them to bring it back. And part of, I haven't got the full program written, but it's out there. I just have to copy, paste it, and make it fit Montezuma County.
Yeah, that was my question. How do you track and inventory this equipment?
Yeah, I keep track of all of it, and I have scanners and all kinds of stuff. So we track it and issue it. They have waivers. I talked with Bentley. It's free to get them under workers' comp because they work for the county, right? They're part of the county team. And then the training program, it's all in there, the CERT manuals, the instructor manuals. We put it all together. I've already certified in teaching the program. The other instructor is Dolores County Emergency Manager. Because we're so small counties, we're just going to do it together and have this team to work with us. And then I can go to EMI for, I think it's 5 days, and take the train the trainer class too. It's all free. They fly you out there, do the training, come back. So got a lot of ideas, a lot of plans. We'll see. We'll see what interest we get. I've got some interest already. Just got to develop it.
So how do you keep these people active? Because, I mean, something
That's-
that we have seen
Right.
without-
Yeah.
with inactivity, it's
Yeah.
just like a firehouse that's real busy or one that doesn't
Yeah,
have many calls. It's
We
very
play
hard to keep.
basketball, dodgeball, eat donuts like firefighters,
Yeah,
things
right.
like that.
It's kind of like joining Little League. Nobody joins Little League to sit on the bench.
No, I've run volunteer groups up to 70 people. Yeah, I learn how to motivate, but
Okay.
yeah, and we've we were our EOC was up and running 6 times last year for whatever. So we need runners and helpers and sandbaggers and, you know, things that we do. So we'll keep them motivated, have little trainings and fun stuff. I'll get Vicky to do search and rescue training. But yeah, it'll be good for the community. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Gerald? you got anything? So move, we approve the application for the Laura Foundation grant funding request for community emergency response team training.
Awesome.
Second.
I don't know if I can read that. It's been moved and seconded to approve the Laura Foundation grant funding request for the CERT program, Community Emergency Response Team Training, as submitted by our grant writer and Mr. Spratlin. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Lady?
Okay, next, I don't know who's, we have an application for a AAA area on Agency on Aging, Board of Directors to represent Montezuma County. Is this,
She's not going to be here, Commissioner, but she is the only applicant. There is a position on the AAA board, and I spoke to Sue and also reached out and met with Mary, and she's highly interested in being on the AAA board.
so Commissioner, do you have anything to add? Because I know that you're our representative also.
No,
on
I don't.
AAA.
Mary served in her, with Sue Fletcher for years over there for the county. And so she knows a lot of the ins and outs of this AAA board, so I think she'd be a good representative
Okay.
to be on there.
And the AAA provides most of the funding for all of the senior services, correct? Or
Yes,
a big portion of it?
big portion of it.
Okay. Okay, good enough, sir.
I move we appoint Mary Holliday as a representative for Montezuma County for the Area Agency on Aging Board of Directors.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept and appoint Mary Holliday as the representative for Montezuma County Board of Directors on the Area Agency on Aging, the AAA Board. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Mr. McLean. This is a Dell Financial Service document for the VX rail, and I will turn it over to IT, who can explain this far greater
Morning,
than I
Commissioners.
can.
Morning, Kim. And I actually sent Travis a couple of pictures, just maybe visuals help make it more clear on what this is for, but the VX rail is basically a cluster of 4 servers. We have 2 of them. And within those 4 servers, there's about 70 servers. So by virtualizing, we cut down on electricity in the whole 9 yards, right? So you basically have 70 servers running within 4. The problem is that with the amount of everything going so much digital anymore, we're starting to get to a point where we're running out of space on it. And it's become critical, as you can see by those pictures, those are both of them. When they get into the red like that, what that means with the VX rail is that if you lose 1 server out of the 4, there's a really good chance you probably will not stay up. Because the way the cluster works is if a server goes down, it automatically detects an issue. It will move and migrate its whatever's on there over to the existing ones to keep everything running. Okay, that's the bottom line. And we're using a ton of space. There's no way of getting around it. You have to keep stuff for life when it comes to the DA, the sheriff's office. All that stuff I have to keep indefinitely. And as we found out from the many Cora requests over the last couple of years, I'm having people come back wanting emails from 7, 10 years ago, and that takes space. We're using up 40 terabytes just on our email server. So what this is going to do is add another host to each VxRail. There's 2 of them. And all it is duplicating what we already have by adding one more of the same thing. And it adds another approximately 30 terabytes to each one, and that should cover us for a few years, because this got us by for, 4 or 5, so that's kind of where we're at. And I budgeted for it this year, so I knew it was coming, and this is just to lease it out over a 3-year period. And all that is just a description of all the parts that are included in each one.
So Jim, I looked at the lease, and obviously I don't understand the mechanics of all this. What I can say is that lease is very, very one-sided. There's a lot of language in there that, as an attorney, gives me cause for concern. One of the things is, and I mean, I'm just going to go through, one of the things is that we take responsibility for whatever this equipment is at the point that it's delivered to a shipper. And so, it's not one of these things where it's delivered and then we get it and then it's ours. I mean, is there a risk of damage to this stuff?
Well, it hasn't happened in the 30 years I've been doing this.
Okay.
I can't say for sure it would.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never a guarantee, but with Dell, it has not been an issue in the past.
The other interesting part of this lease, and I mean, I would imagine that Dell probably uses this lease on a lot of different types of products, but there's absolutely no indemnity clause. We're going to be responsible for whatever results from any failure of this equipment.
Yes and no, because the warranty itself will. There's still a warranty with these servers that I get with all Dell servers, and
I'm talking more like along the realm of legal issues. I mean, so in other words, if there's some malfunction with this product and it crashes and then we lose all of our files, I mean, we're gonna eat it. This isn't gonna go back to Dell, And so, again, I understand. I mean, it's like a lot of the leases that we see for the road department, for in the dump, for some of the heavy equipment. It's an ugly lease to sign. This is not written in any way to protect the county. This is written to protect Dell, 150%. And so, my experience with these kind of leases is there's not a lot of room for negotiation. If you guys want Jim and I to go back and try to do some negotiation, we certainly can, but in my experience, these are pretty much boilerplate, and they require us to sign these things if we want the product. I think it's my job to sit here and tell you there's some concerning stuff in this lease in terms of the product, and I mean, if it fails or if it's damaged in shipping or if there's any issue with it, it's coming back on us.
all I can do is speak from experience. This would be the 3rd lease that we've done with Dell on servers of some sort. The last one was on our data domain, which is our backup repository stuff, and we never had it. All I can go is by past experience, which says it never, and it's the same exact lease.
And like with so many leases, I mean, 99% of the time you're going to be okay. It's just that 1% of the time that something does go south, then we're going to end up eating it if something goes south. I mean, if this stuff gets damaged by the shipper, if there's some issue where it crashes and we lose records that we need for some kind of a legal function, we're eating it. So it's just my job to tell you.
But you have to look at the other side of this. If we buy it straight out, it's the same dilemma. If we already own it, who do I go back to if we lose stuff?
It's absolutely the same dilemma. I don't think it's any different necessarily with a lease rather than a flat-out purchase. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying the lease is not in our court.
I do get it.
So it's a 1% risk that we take, basically.
Well, I don't,
I mean,
and see, and this is
they're
where it
not
gets
gonna
tough
have-
for me
this is-
because I don't know the equipment. I don't know I mean, I don't know enough about the hardware to say, oh, it's a 1% risk or a 5% risk. I mean, obviously, like if you're shipping something that's highly, highly fragile, the risk is gonna be higher signing this kind of thing than if you're shipping something that's never gonna get damaged. I mean, again, we're talking like things that are not high likelihood, but, you know, again, some of it's hardware dependent too. And I mean, I don't even know what this thing looks like in real life. So I can't speak to whether it's gonna get damaged or not.
It looks like a server.
Yeah.
It looks like a rack-mounted server. It's what it is. It's just,
I'm not trying to put a monkey wrench, I'm just saying,
Right.
well, the other option is to buy it straight out. And the reason I didn't do that was because we were working on cutting budgets. So I was able to say, okay, then we can do 45, 50,000 a year in capital versus 128, you know. That's all I was trying to do.
and I'm absolutely not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that there's some boys in the back room at Dell that are drawing up these leases that are not real favorable to this board and this county. And that's what we have.
So when they put this on board to the shipper,
Say
Is
that
it-
again, what?
when the shipper takes possession of that to deliver it to us, is
Yeah,
the shipper
well,
liable for
in this
damages?
case, the shipper is Dell. It comes straight from Dell.
Okay. Are they liable for damages in transit?
Yes, because of the insurance that they put on them when they ship them.
Okay.
So once I receive it, now if I damage it, then
Okay.
that's a whole nother ballgame. But
Right.
Well, and what this lease says is from the time the products are delivered to a carrier for shipment, to you until they're returned to us, you are responsible for any loss, theft, damage, et cetera.
And they do typically put insurance on the carrier, right? Just like shipping UPS and you buy the insurance. It's the same thing.
And then after 3 years, we ship it back to them.
Well, after 3 years, we just own it and we keep it. My hope is that right now we've gotten almost 5 years out of the VX rail we have. So I'm hoping that we can squeeze another maybe fully 10 years out of them before we even have to consider replacing them or doing something, because that's why we bought them so high end, so we didn't have to worry about replacing them. And one thing I'll say, you know, in the 30 years I've done all these Dell servers, I have yet to have one fail on me. I have to give it to them for that. Desktops, that's another ballgame, but their servers have been pretty rock solid, knock on wood. Anything can happen, as we found out last week with the city. They've had some issues going on because of that. But, you know, my job is to try to make sure that your stuff all works when you need it to work. And the more digital that we go into, the more space we need. That's just a fact of life, and there's not much I can do about that.
Questions, gentlemen?
No.
I know, it's,
We are getting some of this back in terms of reimbursement between social services and the district attorney. This will all come back to us in kind of in a return, so it's kind of helping offset that, because they're the ones using a chunk of the space.
sure. For all the recordings and everything that they have to have
Yep.
and keep. All right. Questions, Commissioner? It's just another cost, you know, with these
Unfortunately.
things changing every 3 to 5 years. It's like it's a never-ending
It is.
cycle, which it's gonna be a never-ending cycle because it's all digital. Everything we do is in a digital format anymore.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I move to approve this lease of a server from Dell Financial Services with the amortization schedule 810-900-6602-002.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the Dell Financial Services lease with Montezuma County, with the first payment being $46,588.12, and subsequently thereafter for 3 years for the total amount of $128,299.52 for the VX rail. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Just this one? Oops. I think I got it. This one too? Oh, it's something else. Okay, moving on to new business. First of all, we have our 2024 certification of our levies for revenue. These were all submitted by all of the local government, school districts, cities, towns, everybody that has a taxing overlay in Montezuma County. Travis, do you want to add any more to this?
There's not a whole lot more to say other than they're due by tomorrow. It was extended by the state due to the Senate bill, and just need to get them certified for the assessor.
Okay.
I would so move we certify the mills and revenues for Montezuma County. Do you need the amounts, Travis? For the fiscal year 2024.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to certify the certification of levies and revenues for Montezuma County in the amount of $38,059,058. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Jerry, we have a couple liquor license renewals. Good morning.
My name's Jerry Frizzell. I'm from Montezuma County Clerk of Recorders. I do the liquor license renewals, a new license for Montezuma County. Today I have one for Bubba J's LLC, doing business as Bubba's at 18806 Highway 491 in Lewis. We've got a report from the Sheriff's Office, and there was no corrections against them.
Okay, questions?
No.
All right.
Okay, and then the next one's for Paragon Business Investments LLC, Hilltop Liquor. It's located at 27963 Highway 184 in Dolores, and the report from the Sheriff's Office is no fractions from them either.
Okay. Go
See if he's gonna switch it again.
Just, we'll do one at a time. Then you can switch it, Travis.
Yeah.
I move to approve the renewal of the application for the Colorado Beer and Wine License for Bubba's J's LLC at 18806 Highway 491, Lewis, Colorado, 81327.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the Colorado Beer and Wine License Renewal Application for Bubba J's LLC, located at 18806 Highway 491, Lewis, Colorado. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we can switch it, Travis, and we'll go to the second one. Okay, Commissioner.
I move to approve this retail liquor license renewal application for Paragon Business Investments LLC, doing business at 27963 Highway 184, Dolores, Colorado.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the retail liquor license renewal application for Paragon Businesses Investment LLC located at 27963 Highway 184, Dolores, Colorado. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. All right, with that, we are to at our attorney's report. Ian?
Last week, the CO2 committee, that's the group of fractional interest owners in the Kinder Morgan case, they did respond to the motion to dismiss that was filed by the county in the U.S. Federal District Court. That's the case, if you recall, that was dismissed by the Colorado Supreme Court for lack of standing, and now they've refiled in federal court. I think that the county's certainly anticipating a dismissal in this matter as well, for the same reasons that the Colorado Supreme Court dismissed the case. But we did receive that response. Fairly technical legal arguments, but in essence, they're saying that the federal court can issue an order on this case because the state court ruled that these fractional interest owners did not have standing in state court to proceed. And so, in other words, their argument is the federal court's order wouldn't conflict with the state court's order because the state court never really issued an order and addressed the merits of the case. The case was dismissed for lack of standing. That is the argument that's been submitted by Kinder Morgan. Obviously, the county will counter that, and Nate Kiefer is working on this, and I'm following as well. So we've got 14 days to submit our reply, and we will do that, and then we'll await a court order from the feds. Other than that, last Friday we did have our final response for the complaint that was filed against the Fair Board due. I did get that submitted last Friday, and so we'll await word on that. I learned a lot about the county fair rule book and the state fair rule book, so, so more than I ever thought I would know, and so there we be. I'll keep you guys updated as soon as we hear back from the Colorado Civil Rights Commission on that. And other than that, I don't have anything to report.
All right, thank you. Travis?
I was out all of last week. I tried to attend some meetings. One was the Southwest Opioid Response District. There's a path moving forward, trying to get treatment for people addicted to opioids. We're going to have a couple people going down to Kentucky and looking at a facility down there, so that was promising. And then Saturday I attended a League of Women Voters meeting with City Manager Drew Sanders. Didn't have to do a whole lot of talking other than at the end. Talked about some sales tax aspects and path moving forward and trying to get a PSST.
And there's still the misconception that Montezuma County already does have a sales tax.
Correct, and we don't.
For those out there, it's not Montezuma County that has that. It's Montezuma County Hospital District. Their printers just won't print all of that wording out.
Correct, and we've tried to delineate that several times to the public, that when it shows on there, it says Montezuma County. If you look at the rest of it, there is no sales tax for Montezuma County. It's specifically for the hospital district. All right. Also, too, I saw that Region 9 asked for their designation were you gonna bring that up today? Because I think, do we need to fill that out?
I'll fill that out and submit
Okay.
it based upon the recommendations you gentlemen have provided.
Okay, very good.
You ready?
Ready.
Last week, I viewed the city council meetings on YouTube rather than go there. They celebrated Chris Burkett's retirement in their work session, and they also had quite a celebration, it looked like, on their audits all being completed. They've got, I think it was, 4 or 5 years that needed done. Some of them were done simultaneously, and there was quite the celebration. They were pretty happy that they have gotten this all done. And under their regular agenda, they approved a couple of, well, actually 3 restaurant liquor licenses. And it was quite a short meeting. I'm not so sure they didn't set a record. Had a franchise agreement that they done with Empire Electric that is going to its second reading. Set the budget and levies for the city. And let's see. The Cortez Police Department applied to Department of Local Affairs for some behavioral health support and community partnerships. And other than that, that was it. And I also did attend a dispatch meeting. We did our annual meeting and the regular meeting in about 20 minutes, but there wasn't much brought forth during that meeting. The next meeting is in March, so we'll post that. And I will be going to the MVI meeting on Saturday this week. And that's all I have.
All right, very good. Thank you. Commissioner Copeland for.
Yeah, this past week, our area agency on aging meeting, the AAA meeting, was canceled and rescheduled again for this Friday. I did attend the Mancos town meeting last week. There was not much going on. Really, they're going to have the mayor and 4 board seats up for election this time.
Sounds
So
like-
it's
kinda like
there's going to
Dolores.
be there's going to be quite a turnover probably of directors there also. I really didn't get a feel of how many were going to rerun, but there's definitely going to be that many seats up for election in Mancos, so there was some discussion about that. Other than that, there's just mainly small budget things that they were considering and different things going on. Like Kent brought up, we're going to have our annual meeting for Montezuma Valley Irrigation Company this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Helps if people can get there early and sign in, get registered early, because it's hard to get everybody signed into it. So appreciate people if they can come and bring their proxies early and sign in early so that we can get started right at 1 o'clock with the meeting.
Doesn't registration start at 10, if I read right?
Yes.
10?
Yeah, you can start registering at 10 o'clock. And even before, if you want to go into the office out here later this week, you can go in and register your proxies in too. So that helps with those that have a lot of proxies, because it takes a while to get them all in there registered. So if you can do that ahead of time, it helps out a bunch. And that's about all I got.
All right, very good. Yeah, it was off to a somewhat of a slow week, but we did kick off the legislative session this last week. It looks like it's going to be an interesting and probably well over 600 bills introduced again this year with the way it started. I will be on my way to the Fire Commission meeting in Denver tomorrow, be up in the Front Range for a couple days, and then I'll be back hopefully for the MVI meeting also on the weekend. And that's really all I have to report. And gentlemen, unless you have anything else, we are to the end of our agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn this January 16th, 2024 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.